away, days burn, disintegrate, years roll along and fade. Don't let them slip away. Right here, right now, today. These are the good old days. Right here, right now, today. Hey, these are the good old days.
In the 80s, we had a number of great action figure movies. There's often reference to the big three of the 1980s, that being Masters of the Universe, Transformers, G.I. Joe. However, there was moments of glory in the 80s when we had one-hit wonders. Action figure lines that were out for one wave and were quickly gone. And those were some of the most innovative and captivating toys of my childhood. One such line was Marshall Bravestar. It was a space cowboy. What could be cooler than that? Not only do we get Dynamite Marshall Bravestar action figures, but the show that accompanied it was one of the best. Go back and watch it now. It really holds up. Young Adam spent many days playing with his Marshall Bravestar action figures. However, as a child, and as an adult collector looking to restore toys, one of the most common lost items is the Marshall Bravestar hat. Now, I've done a previous video where we recreated the hats using cardstock, and those looked great and did the trick. However, acquired a few more Bravestar figures, and today we're going to look at restoring each of them at differing levels of completion. And hopefully by the end, I'll have a few Bravestars to add to the collection. Alright, well here are our 3 Bravestars we're going to be working on today. Before we get going, I just wanted to say that I'm totally convinced the Bravestar head sculpt was based off of 1985 Steven Seagal. I have no proof, it's just my theory. Now, as far as our Bravestars here, our first one is totally complete except for his hat. He even has his laser fire backpack. Our second Bravestar has nothing at all. And our third Bravestar is actually a variant. You can notice here his unpainted legs, and he only has a janky vest. So we're going to try our best to get them all complete and going again. So the first thing we're going to do is make a vest for that one who doesn't have one. So I've opened up PowerPoint here, and I'm just going to, using this picture of a vest as a template, recreate a image, a black and white image of the vest shape and kind of deco. And once we have that going, we can import it into our 3D space, and we can start making layers out of it and hopefully get a 3D printed vest. Now we're going to print this in 2 stages, the first stage being blue and the second stage being silver, so we get kind of this silver on blue effect. Now when it's printed, it'll be very rigid, so we're going to do the old trick where we put it into warm water for 45 seconds or so, and it will become quite pliable. So we're going to quickly take it out of the water, wrap it around Bravestar as we desire, and then when it cools down relatively quickly, you're going to have a Bravestar vest all set to go there. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is look at the janky Bravestar vest that was on our variant one.
It's in decent shape, just all the paint's gone off of it. So we are simply going to take some silver acrylic paint, and we are going to carefully just paint all the raised deco that was once silver. Alright, now once we have that painted, we simply take our Bravestar here. Look how good that looks. It doesn't take much to get these old Bravestar vests looking sharp. A little bit of silver paint, a little bit of luck, and then you are off to the races.
Strength of the bear!
Alright, next thing we're going to do in our 3D space is we're going to make up some hats for Bravestar. Now, we made those cardstock ones before, but since we have our 3D space in our printer, we're going to try our best to make up a hat here. Alright, now that we have our hat printed off here, we can see we printed the brim flat, but it should fit on his hat right there. That flat brim, he looks a little bit like Billy Jack, and that's awesome. Can we just take a moment and recognize how awesome Billy Jack was for a second?
You know what I think I'm gonna do then? Just for the hell of it.
Tell me.
I'm gonna take this right foot, and I'm gonna whop you on that side of your face. And you wanna know something? There's not a damn thing you're gonna be able to do about it.
Really?
Really?
Alright, the awesomeness of Billy Jack notwithstanding, Bravestar didn't have a straight flat brim on his hat. So we're going to do the old trick where we again take our warm water and just dunk our hat in there for 30 to 45 seconds. And once it's gotten a little bit kind of soft and bendable, we're just going to carefully take it out, and carefully curve at the sides, and shape the cowboy hat how we want it. You can do it kind of traditional, or kind of how Bravestar had a little peak in the front of his, but just curve up the sides how you want, and make sure it still fits on his head, and he is looking sharp. Now the next thing we're going to do is just paint the emblem on the front of the hat. Now when I'm painting things that are this small and this kind of intricate, I don't use a paintbrush, I just use a little bit of my red acrylic paint, but to apply it, I actually just use a paper clip here, just kind of straighten it out, and then just dab on little bits of paint, because I'd rather take a long time and get it looking good than mess up and ruin the hat. So just take a little bit of the paint on the paper clip, spread it around, and if you're patient enough, you can get the hat looking kind of like you want to. So there's kind of what our hat's going to look like when we're done, and we should be all set to go. Now the next thing to deal with is his sidearm here, and our one that was almost complete came with a sidearm, but the other two didn't. So again, I'm just going to build one here in our 3D space, and if we do our job right, we should be able to print it off and not be able to tell the real ones from the repro ones. Let's see how we did. Alright, so you can see here our 3 Bravestars are looking real good, maybe better than they have in a long, long time.
But wait! There's more!
Alright, so the other thing that these Bravestar's figures all came with was some chunks of carium, which was like the gold of New Texas. So I'm just going to go into my 3D space and quickly see if I can't design up some of my own carium nuggets and replenish the stock.
So there you go. There's our restoration of a few Bravestars at different levels of completion. Hopefully you got a kick out of what we did today. I'm thrilled with the way these turned out, and I love that they're part of my collection. If you like what we did today, if you're having as much fun as we are, hit the like, the bell, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. Leave a comment, let us know what you think. If you want to support us on Patreon, you can do that. We'd really appreciate it. But, mostly, we hope to see you on the next video.